guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome to a quick tutorial guide on how to use the Discover navigation system on the Golf Mark 7. Now, as you probably know, the navigation system that's fitted to this car is not unique to this vehicle. It was fitted to Passats, CCs, Tiguan's, etc, etc. So it's kind of a generic system. I thought I'd do a video on it because the car's going in about a month's time. So stay tuned to see what's coming next, and I'll do a video on that as soon as I get it. So let's crack on. Sometimes it will pop up with the Volkswagen symbol on the dash. This here is a mobile phone holder, a magnetic mobile phone holder. I'll put the link in the description below. It's got a good one from Amazon. Okay, so your main home screen is here. On here you've got all your options, so radio, media, telephone, navigation, your vehicle settings, audio settings, and your setup. Those items there. It's also touch screen as well. It's not very responsive, but it's not too bad. Just mirrors of these buttons down here. So let's start off with radio. So in this vehicle, it's got the Discover navigation 6.5 inch LCD touchscreen. You'll notice at the bottom it says band, stations, manual, view. This black bar here is a proximity sensor, so as you get close to it, the menu options pop up and the screen changes. The radio icons, the symbols that you can see there, I've had to download those onto an SD card and then save them onto the system. On the newer versions of the cars with DAB, they automatically pop up, but if you haven't got the latest style, then you have to do it yourself. I'll show you how to do that in a little while. So in the corner here we've got your radio frequency. So we've got DAB, FM and AM, and equally if you didn't want to use that, you could just keep pressing this button and that will also flick through the various wavelengths and different radio bands. You can see these icons here. They vary the pages that you've got. And to save a radio station, let's have a look. Stations, BBC Asian Network. I can't have it playing for copyright reasons. To save it, you just press and hold the button and it saves it in that location. You can do it manually, but with DAB I've just found it much easier just to look at the stations list. You can refresh it there if you move locations in the country, and that'll update your station lists as depending on where you are. If we click on view, you can change what you actually see on the screen. If there is any radio text, I'll pop it up there. And a slideshow just does a rotating sort of image of all of these three. So the preset list, the station info, and the radio text. If we click into setup, sound, pretty much straightforward. You can change the volume there for traffic announcements, navigation announcements, what it comes on when you switch the vehicle on. And you can either use a touch screen, or if it's highlighted, you can use you can use this wheel here. Oh dear, not my choice. Bit of Spice Girls. Scan will scan through all the stations that are available to you, and this will change what the arrow buttons, so these on the steering wheel, and also these in the display. Traffic program, preset list, station logos, there we go. So if you wanted to add station logos, this is where you delete them from. So Magic Christmas hasn't got one. what I can do, if I click on there, the SD card which is in the glove box, click here. Now you can see my terrible taste in music, but in here I have saved the JPEGs which I've just downloaded from the internet, saved them onto an SD card, and I can add that. So now when I click on Magic Christmas, it says History, but if I had the Magic Christmas logo then I could save it in there. Advanced setup, pretty much straightforward. You can choose which of these you have interrupting your radio station while you're listening. That's a good one to have, the automatic DAB to FM switching. So if you do happen to lose DAB signal, it will find the FM radio station. Same as if you're on FM, it's pretty much the same sort of setup. Now if we click on media, I'll turn this down a bit. So you can choose your CD, your aux input, i.e. your mobile phone if you've got one plugged in, SD card, there's your aux input, or Bluetooth audio. So how you normally have it streaming from my iPhone, it's pretty good. It brings up the information of the song that you're listening to, and you can either press here and choose it from there, or you can press media and it will flick through the varying media sources. I haven't got a CD in. The CD is in the glove box. It's a single CD, but unfortunately I don't own a single CD anymore, so I can't show you that. On the screen we've got a repeat once, repeat all, and a shuffle. Here we can go into the music library and look back at what is on the SD card. Bit of Ed Sheeran. I just have it on random, to be honest. Setup, pretty much the same options in all of these auxiliary inputs. So sound, I'll show you this for the fader, which is quite nice. So it shows you a setup of the car, and you can alter where the sound is projected to, or you can use these buttons here, and to get it back to the middle you press that one. Bluetooth will show you the devices that are set up with your car, and this is where you can add them as well. That's pretty much immediate. Phone, here you can save 4 of your favourite contacts. You can dial a number, you can call the breakdown service, which is quite handy to have. It'll have all your contacts in there. I'm not going to press that because it will come up with all my friends' phone numbers. Recent calls and setup. If you want to save more than one telephone to here, you can do. Bluetooth is where you connect your phone to it, quite straightforward. User profile. There we go. This tick in the box, so when you turn the car off, it will pop up saying remember to take your phone with you. Select a ringtone, but in all honesty I've never heard the ringtone on this. It just tends to play the ringtone. That I've got set on my phone at the time. But there's quite a lot of options there to go for. And show pictures for contacts. Voice, if you've got the voice activated system in your car, if you've gone for that option, then you can talk to it. Unfortunately I haven't, so all this does is just mute whatever's playing at the time. And we're going to nav. So the navigation on this car is okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing. It still doesn't beat Google Maps. You can update the maps in this. I'll put a link in the description below where you can go to Volkswagen website, and it will allow you to update the maps. I'm not sure how long it does that for. I think it's probably 3 years, but you can update it via the SD card. It's dead easy to do. I advise you to do that straight away as soon as you pick the car up. New destination. So say we've got the postcode. It's a bit long-winded. But to input the postcode, we click on town. At the bottom here we can see postcode or PTCD. Now Most postcodes in the UK start with ABC, so I don't know why it hasn't given you a QWERTY keyboard, but we press ABC. I'll just pick a random one, so WV69HD, Wolverhampton. Now it gives you route options here, so we can have it to suggest the 3 alternative routes. Now the 3 alternative routes are the most economical, the fastest, or the shortest. I always have it set to the fastest anyway. Dynamic route, so it will change the route if there are any traffic problems ahead, and then you've got varying options here to avoid motorways, ferries, avoid toll roads. If you're travelling in Europe, you can avoid toll sticker roads, and this will give you the available tolls, but they're all continental Europe. None of them are in the UK. We can store the address, or we can hit start, and what it does, the route is being calculated. Also showing the central display, because I'm on a car park at the minute, it shows off-road. So from here we can use this button here to
drive to the route shown.
Zoom in and out. We can also click on here, and we can add new destinations. So say you wanted to find a petrol station, we can click there, and then we can click here, POI, and then look for a petrol station, find category, and it should be in here somewhere, petrol stations. And then it will look for the ones that are closest en route, which is quite a good idea. Come back out on that. Also in route, if for whatever reason this doesn't divert you because of traffic ahead, you can do it here. If you know there's 1 mile of traffic congestion ahead, you can click on there and it will reroute you. We will just stop that for now. But at the top, let's do that again, let's see. My destinations and contacts. So in here we've got saved, favourites and contacts. These are destinations. If you've got them saved in your phone's linked to this, you can take the address from there, but let's just go to the previous one.
The route is being calculated.
Just show you the display at the top of the screen. So it will give you miles to destination, time of arrival, time now. That tells you the traffic program is activated, and that is my battery life in my phone, signal, temperature outside, a little compass in the corner. Now here, if I was to press this button here, I can have it set so that the zoom in and out is set to automatic. Yeah. So as we approach junctions, the sat-nav zooms in, and then as we're on a straight bit of road, then the sat-nav will more than likely zoom back out again. So it will give you a more overview of the route. We can change the view, so we have it in 2D if you like that. And then we can change this. We can have it day or night. You can also set that up so it's automatic, and the split screen will show varying options here. So we can have the compass, we can have whatever's playing on the audio, say if that was radio for instance previously, it would come up on there. This will show you the direction you need to travel in, traffic signs which are speed limits, that would show up in there, and also GPS information. But I tend to find that it does take up quite a bit of the screen. It's only a small screen anyway, so I don't tend to have that on. POIs is pretty straightforward. We're just going to setup. Route options. Again, fairly straightforward. Let's just have a look at the top. Oh, we've been in this already, haven't we? Map, day, night. Let's have it on automatic. Auto zoom is okay, but I tend to like it, have it a little bit zoomed in so I can see it at all times. Lane guidance for when you're exiting and joining motorways. Fuel options. So fuel warning, once you're down to 65 miles left in the tank, it will pop up saying, do you want me to help you find a petrol station? Select preferred fuel station. Unfortunately, I like Sainsbury's and BP, and they don't appear in this list, so hey ho, it's not completely foolproof. So in here, we can change what it says at the top of the screen. Demo mode, for some reason, it will always start off when you program in destination, assuming that you're at the Volkswagen factory in Germany. So I don't tend to have that on. You don't really need it. Nav announcements. So here you can change your volume, but you can do it while you're in the map anyway. If there is a let's just go back to it. If there's a instruction coming up, you can press this button to repeat the instructions, but there isn't any instructions. You can alter the volume there when the instruction's being given. And then that just gives version information. From here you can delete everything, define your home address, put your contacts in first or last name order. So that is pretty much the sat nav. It's very easy to use. Alternatively, you can enter the town here. Let's go to Birmingham. So once you've got the first 3 letters in there and it recognises the place name, you can click that. Let's go to Church Street, if there is one. I'm sure there is in Birmingham. There's probably several. Church Street. In Castle Vale, at the junction with High Street. So if you live Castle Vale, junction of High Street in Birmingham, might be coming to your house, pay you a visit. So there we can see the location of where we're going to. Click on start, and then it will obviously work out where we need to go. Traffic information. This will tell you obviously traffic reports en route to your journey. If you click on it, it will give you a little bit more information. And then we've got car. In the car view, you can see these are the things that are using fuel. So if I turn the rear screen on, that would show up in there. If the air conditioning was on, let's just try that actually. So if I turn the air conditioning on, and if I turn the heated rear screen on, and if I turn the heated mirrors on, they all show up on there to say that this is what's using more fuel. Okay, we can also have in here driving data. So my last journey was 11 miles, driving for half an hour. My average consumption over those 11 miles was 50 mpg, did an average 23 mile an hour, and that's how much fuel's left in the tank. If we use these toggle switches here, you can select long term, and since I filled the car up, I've done 119 miles since I filled it. I've been driving for 4 hours 50 minutes, and my average mpg was 58.2. This is a 2 litre 150 brake diesel engine. Vehicle status will give you information about your tyre pressure monitoring, just to make sure that's okay, and this is where you reset it if, for instance, you have a tyre change. In setup, this is where you turn off your DSC, dynamic stability control. Tyres, you can set a speed warning for winter tyres. Oh, it's quite funny if you're lending the vehicle to someone to set that at 40 mile an hour, so it just constantly beeps when they go over 40. Driver assistance, so you can select in here how you want your adaptive cruise control set up. I'll have it on that because I have it as close as I can. Front assist, advanced warning, and a display distance warning. I like all those on. We want all these activated. Parking and manoeuvring. So this is where we change the volume and the tone for the parking sensors. So let's play this. And we can change the tone. And the same for the rear. And it will, you can change whether it mutes your stereo or not when the parking sensors are on. Lights, so the automatic headlights, pretty straightforward in there. Interior lighting. So on the doors we have underneath this chrome strip, a very thin LED light on both the driver and the passenger door. We can change that. I'll show you a bit of a cutaway now. It's quite pretty of a night time to watch, to have them illuminated, or you can turn them off completely if you want. It's also got footwell lighting that we can change in here also. And you can also change the lighting of the dashboard from this screen as well. Okay, also in here we've got the coming home and leaving function. So the coming home headlights, you have to have your headlights have had to have been on. It has to be dark, and when you get out of the car, you just flash your headlights once, and they will stay on for 30 seconds. And you can obviously adjust it here to whatever you want it to be. Leave it at 30. What else do we have in here? Mirrors and wipers. Synchronous adjustment. So if you move the offside mirror, the near side mirror will move to compensate. Lower while reversing. The curbside mirror or your near side mirror will lower when you put the vehicle in reverse. Fold when parked if you've got that option. Automatic wipers to come on when it's raining, but why would you not want that off? And then the rear window will, rear screen wipe will wipe once you put it in reverse if your front windscreen wipers are active. So the convenience open of all windows. If you press and hold the unlock button on the key, it will open all 4 windows, and equally when you press and hold the lock, it will shut all the windows. Automatic locking for when you drive off. In here you can choose what it says on the central display, what options pop up in here. There's quite a lengthy list of options, to be fair, and this is where you can reset it all. Time and date's pretty straightforward. Units, again, pretty straightforward. And then you can reset the factory settings there for various options. Setup. There are a few different options in setup. Sound we've already been through. Screen. You can take off the confirmation tone every time you press the button, but I quite like it on. Show clock in standby mode. So if we turn the ignition off, take the key out, the clock will pop up and the day. And by using the folder buttons on the steering wheel, we can skip through some menus. So we can go through assist systems, navigation, audio, telephone, vehicle status and driving data. So to select driving data, you either leave it and it will select it itself, or you can press the OK button in the centre of the button there. Using these buttons on the steering wheel, we can flick through fuel range, average consumption, consumption at that time, your average miles per hour. So that's not average miles an hour, that is a digital readout of your speedometer, average speed and how far you've travelled. Now if I press the OK button in the middle of the steering wheel, you'll see there in the corner it says since start. If you press it again, it will do how many miles I've done long term and since I filled it up. And that also goes for fuel consumption. That's since I filled it up. that's today, 50 miles to the gallon today, and that's over the last 1,300 miles. You can also got that option on travelling time and distance travelled. I'll flick to the next system. So we've got assist systems. This is your adaptive cruise control, where you can alter how close or how far away you are from the vehicle in front. Obviously you don't have to do that, you can just use this button once the cruise is on. And if I press OK down on that, you can turn your front assist off. The other option of doing that is a button on the end of the steering wheel here will also do the same. So you can turn it on or off there. However, when you turn the car off and then back on again, it just activates again. But it's worth having it on because it could save your insurance premiums from going up. Navigation, this will give you all the directions, prompts will be in the screen here, but you can also, using the buttons, look for your previous addresses, and if you want to go there, I'm just using these buttons here on the steering wheel. If you press OK, it will start navigation to that address. Okay, next, audio. You've got very limited options on here for audio. You can flick through to the next song, but that's pretty much about it. Doesn't really do a fat lot else. Telephone, if you press down, you can see the previous people that I may have called, and then press OK and it will start ringing them. Vehicle status will just tell you if the car needs a service, and then we're back to driving data. And there we have it. That's a quick guide. If there's any questions that you need me to answer or anything specific you want me to look at, then leave them in the comments below. Thanks for subscribing and watching as always, and I'll be back with another video soon. Cheers guys.